Everything started as nothing. Ben Weisenstein. DC Tribe, Josh Thomas, glad to have you here. I want to share an important message with you today, but first I want to make sure that you understand I have this thing called the Do Zone DNA. I would love it very much if you would go to dozonedna.com, get your access to your own assessment. It's a personality profile that's going to show you how you get stuff done so you can build the world around you for optimal performance. And so the message that I'm sharing with you today is very important. It's about knees and feet. What do I mean by that? Those are two crucial body parts for a number of reasons. Your feet take you places. Your knees make you flexible. Your feet give you the ability to arrive. Your knees give you the ability to adjust. But they also serve other purposes. I want to talk about the purpose they serve with relation to other people. Because other people can bring you to your knees. And that doesn't necessarily mean that you're flexible. And other people can bring you to your feet, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you are going to arrive somewhere. And so your knees and your feet with relation to other people is ultimately your choice. We think that certain people in this life, this person has the ability, the authority, the power to bring me to my knees. But do they? Couldn't they also bring you to your feet? And who gets to decide that? Is somebody else deciding that for you? Is somebody in your life deciding that they can take you down to your knees? Is somebody else deciding that they can bring you to your feet? What if you had control over it? What if you were somebody that says, you know what? No more. I'm not going to allow this person to affect me so badly that they bring me to my knees, so that I beg that they please stop. And we may associate bringing somebody to their feet as a good thing. It could be a good thing. And it could also be a bad thing. But let's think about it for a moment. How many people should bring you to your feet, but they don't? What about that person in your life that is always consistent? They're always there for you. They're always showing you that they love you. They just never do anything super grandiose. Shouldn't that bring you to your feet? Why doesn't it? What about that person in the stadium that you paid to go and see, and they start playing that song that you've known since you were 15 years old, and they brings you to your feet? Yes, this reminds me of another time that I'm not in anymore. Why does that bring you to your feet? You're in a tough relationship. Things are difficult, and you break it off. And he or she comes back around and tries to put you down, and you let him. Tries to let you know that things aren't the same and they're not as good without them, and you believe them. And they bring you down to your knees so that you would just take them back. Why'd you let them? A lot of bringing things to your knees and a lot of bringing things to your feet, it doesn't actually have anything to do with the present moment. Although sometimes it can. I suppose if you took a baseball bat to somebody's knees and they fell down on their knees, that would be a very present situation. You know, same thing as, if somebody's sitting down and you poke them with a needle or something and they stand up really quick, that would be a very present moment. But for the most part, when people get brought to their knees and they get brought to their feet, it's because of something that's already happened and you're being triggered. Something in the past happened that reminded you, I'm safer on my knees. Something in the past happened that reminded you, I'm better experiencing this feeling on my feet. But you get to decide whether or not that trigger exists. You can't decide whether it exists, but whether or not that trigger exists, you get to decide whether or not you pull it. You get to decide who brings you to your knees and who brings you to your feet. You get to decide if somebody has already done that to you in the past, if they get to continue doing it. And there's no right or wrong answer. There never is, unfortunately. I wish there was. I wish somebody would swoop down from the heavens or the aliens or whatever is out there and just tell us, this is what's right. This is what life is about. This is how you do it correctly. I wish somebody would do that, but they haven't yet. And so it's up to us to decide. It's up to us to decide how we let things affect us, how we let our present affect us. We can control in the moment. How we let our past affect us. I want to share something with you. Something I read in a book once. I wish I could say I could take credit for this, but I can't. But there's a book called 10-Second Miracles. And there's a guy named Gay Hendricks. He wrote the book. And it's about couples counseling, kind of. He was a couples counselor for like 30 years. Super smart dude. Great book. Buy it if you're in any kind of relationship. But he talks about this idea that the past does not exist. And he doesn't really elaborate on that a whole lot, but he says the past does not exist. You can leave that up to interpretation, but my interpretation is the past is not real. Because it's something that happened before, but it's not happening right now. And the only way that you can make that past real, the only way that you can make it exist, is to take that past and bring it into the present. Is something or somebody from your past bringing you to your knees right now? Is something or somebody from your past bringing you to your feet right now? Are you okay with that? Because if you are, keep doing it.